Alright, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Morning Glory. My name is Eddie Law. I haven't done one of these in a while. Schedule's still kind of jacked. Mostly due to work stuff and trying to fit in jiu-jitsu and all that stuff, other stuff that I do too on the side. So apologize for that. Anyway, clearly plenty to talk about. I'm going to try and keep it as in chronological order as possible and stuff that I want to talk about. Well, Muhammad Ali passed away on Friday, I believe, Friday, and that to me actually hit pretty hard because I never looked at the sports stars at all. I already shit way too much on Twitter and on Periscope and on YouTube anyway, so fuck it, why not? I'm originally from Mexico, and we had to go through that entire long ass process to, the way that people just say do it right. Luckily, we were, my family and especially my parents were patient and smart enough to be able to do it right. So we get here, and then first sports stars that I saw, at all on TV or anything, they were all Mexican soccer stars, right? But now I'm here, so I'm trying to figure out. It's like, okay, well, what do people play around here? And it was basketball. So the first game I went to was Bulls Suns back when Barkley and Jordan were still playing. And I was a Jordan fan kind of by default because it's like, oh, that guy's the greatest, the greatest to ever do it. That guy's awesome. Then I saw Charles Barkley's attitude, and I was like, nah, fuck that. That guy, Charles Barkley, is the shit. So I started kind of looking at that, and then literally the day after, my dad told me, we were watching boxing. Boxing, and yeah, thanks for letting me know, Mike. I'm bringing that up in a little bit here. So I was watching boxing, and my dad told me about Muhammad Ali, and immediately I started asking questions, reading books about Muhammad Ali and all that stuff. And the funny thing is, I never I admired his boxing, but what I took in more was what he did outside of the boxing world, what he did for other people, for humans. And I was like, wow, this guy, he talks like this, and he's super, cocky, and he talks a lot, and he fights, and he knocks dudes out, and he gets beat up sometimes and all that. But in the end, people don't really care about his boxing record. And he was heavyweight champ 3 times and all that. But no one ever cared. It was all about what he did outside of boxing. So it's so it hit really, really, really hard. And I was luckily UFC 199 was the next day, so it was kind of like a little breather from it. But they did an amazing job, in my opinion. They did a great job paying tribute to Muhammad Ali. So got to give them credit for that. Fights from 199. Really, the only fight to talk about is Bisping Rockhold fight. Cruz outclassed the shit out of Faber. That was, and we all look. Everyone knew it was coming. Faber's older. Faber hasn't evolved for anything. He's got the same tricks up his sleeve, and they didn't work this time. So clearly, and Cruz knew what the tricks were, and he just stayed out of it. So in fact, he was able to knock Faber down with some power. So it's just yeah, dude, maybe you should stop fighting Faber. Anyway, and then Michael Bisping, middleweight champ. A lot of people want to discredit Bisping, right? Because it's like, oh, Rockhold was getting cocky and he's screwing up. Yeah, you hoes did that. Anderson Silva, so you can't get cocky. No way you cannot get cocky in a fight, especially not against Michael Bisping. He can say whatever he wants, or people can make fun of him like, oh, pillow fist. No, that motherfucker hits hard. Okay, you could tell Michael Bisping hits hard, and then when he saw his opening, he knocked the dude the fuck out. So congratulations, Michael Bisping. That's amazing. 10 years in the sport, and you finally get your title shot, and you took advantage of it on 2 weeks' notice. That's amazing to me. All right. Unfortunately, last night, and I'll talk about the Arrow thing last, but unfortunately, last night we lost Kimbo Slice, 42 years old, in Florida. He went into a hospital. He's hospitalized with a heart attack, from what I've heard, and pretty much all you heard probably. And as they were saying, his heart's at 5%, is failing and all that stuff. And reports started coming out left and right about he's still hospitalized. Other people saying he's dead. A training partner of his that I think lives in Kansas put it on Facebook that Kimbo had died. Then Billy Corbin put it out on Twitter, and you kind of knew it was true, right? And then ATT put it out, and it was kind of like nailing the coffin. He's out. He's done. So unfortunately, we lost Kevin Ferguson, aka Kimbo Slice. He put out look. If you never talked to him or heard him speak, or even interact with people, then you probably thought he was just a thuggish asshole, and he wasn't. He was way far from it. You know what I mean? He was way far from it. Dude, one of the toughest people on the planet, but at the same time, he was one of the kindest people ever, really, from all accounts. I didn't have the pleasure of meeting the man, but from anyone that's talked about him, anyone that's met him, all my friends that have interviewed him and all that, they said he was a sweetheart, one of the nicest people ever. So, rest in peace, Kimbo Slice. Now, Mike told me a little earlier on Twitter that they're actually looking at Kimbo's son to replace him to fight in London against James Thompson. I mean, okay, but I've never seen his son fight. I'm gonna look it up on YouTube, but apparently, that's not a bad idea, right? But it's kind of weird. So they're looking at Kimbo's son. They're looking at Tito, and I forgot the last name, Mike. So I apologize for that. I forgot the third name you gave me, but they're looking at replacing Kimbo for that fight, obviously, and paying tribute. Here's what weirded me out about this shit is that Kimbo's had heart issues since the last event when he fought Dada. Rampage, thank you, and Rampage. So they're looking at Rampage, Tito, and Kimbo Slice's son, which I have to be honest, I would think Rampage is leading that one, with Tito close second. I don't think you want to throw Kimbo Slice's son in there yet, unless, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like, it'd be a good tribute to his father and all that, and I'm sure he wants to do it, but it's kind of, I think it's kind of too soon for him. It's his father, man, But who knows? I mean, what Bellator's gonna do what Bellator does. But all right, so what weirded me out is they let Kimbo fight with a weak heart, knowing he had a heart issue last time, and then he dies yesterday from heart failure. Can you imagine had he actually made it to the cage in London next month? I think this is when the fight was. He might have died in the cage. So. It's one of those things where it's kind of weird. I don't see how Bellator didn't know about it, or Coker. They forged documents. Well, there you go. They could have done that too. So it's all weird, man. I don't like it at all. And I could tell you if the family wants to press legal action, they probably should. Because look, Kimbo had a big family. All right, so Kimbo had a big family. They're gonna need taken care of. And it sounds, especially in America, everyone sues for everything. It sounds a little greedy and everything, but no, he deserves this. Like, Kimbo Slice deserves for his family to get taken care of, especially if it was, wrongdoing and all that. Even if he was, partly to blame. You can't blame a man for literally, giving everything and dying to give his family as much as possible. So it's just, it's an unfortunate situation and all that, and they better not take the money. But who knows? They might. I mean, look, I wouldn't blame them if they sued. I would not blame them. In fact, look, that's a big family you got to take care of, and now who does it fall on? It kind of sucks. But it all depends on who's at fault, I guess, or the legal system. Anyway, all right. On to, I guess, the juicy news shit. This is weirding me out. So on Saturday night. This is definitely bigger than Kimbo. I agree with that. I certainly agree with that. Anyway, but Saturday night, UFC 199. Obviously, we got two big announcements. Nate Diaz versus Conor McGregor 2 is official for UFC 201, 202? Yeah. UFC 202. So they got the fight done. In fact, you kind of knew it when Nate Diaz posted that video on Instagram, Stockton slapping Dana White. Okay. You kind of knew something was up. Because it was like making deals, Stockton slap. Cool. So you kind of had an idea, okay, Nate's got to fight, and it's probably Conor. So, all right, cool. They made the fight. It's official. They're going to fight. Then, after that, the Brock Lesnar is coming back at UFC 200 news and all that. Here's the thing. Not too long before they announced it on the pay-per-view, Ariel Helwani broke the story, right? Which, it didn't surprise me at all. He breaks shit all the time. So, it's like, okay, whatever. What was weird is that, if they sued, I would not blame them. If they sued, I would not blame them. In fact, I, if they sued, I would not blame them. In fact, I after the Brock announcement in the Cruz favorite fight, they kicked Ariel Helwani out of the arena and banned him for life. Took his credentials away. Him, Esther Lynn, and another videographer, Casey, I think I forgot his last name. But like, you guys know me, I didn't give a fuck. I was like, whatever, who gives a shit? It didn't, it doesn't bother me. It's Ariel, except for the fact that they banned him for breaking news that was confirmed. Right? He was warned not to do it, but did it anyway. Well, exactly. But you guys, look, some of you know this, but I actually went to school for journalism. I graduated with my degree in broadcast journalism. I did the job for a while. I had my heart broken when I found out that professional journalism, is not what we were taught it to be. This pure, down the middle, art. I call it art and some science, but this is art of telling both sides of the story right down the middle with no agenda whatsoever. I learned very early on, probably too early on, into actually doing the job at a college, that's not at all what happens at all. So I got out of it, and I work at I run a business here, but I help run a business here, but it's incredibly heartbreaking when you realize something like that the thing you love is complete bullshit. So anyway, yeah, Ariel gets banned. I didn't care about the person. I don't give a shit about Ariel. Look, you guys know me. I don't like the guy. I mean, he gets good interviews and all that. I give him credit for the work, for sure. But the guy himself, he's done so much shit. I used to watch the MMA Hour weekly, every time. Every time, I didn't even miss a show at all. And then I started noticing things about him that I really didn't like, and so I stopped listening to him. That's why I would listen to the interviews or whatever. If someone cut him aside or anything. Sometimes usually people do. And so he gets banned. He gets kicked out. He gets banned for life. All right. The reason I went off on Twitter about it was because it's an attack on reporting. How are you as a company? Now again, he was warned about it. Now the UFC can do whatever they want. They're a private company, right? They can do whatever the fuck they want, and they can they can ban who they want, they can credential who they want. It's kind of their call. So, had they banned Ariel for being a douchebag like he is, fine. That's fine. Do that. You know what I mean? He's being a dick, fine, ban him. But don't ban him because he did his job. As reporters, you have a scoop, you have news to report. Your job is to report the news. Your job is not to be a PR piece. That's the difference between like Mike said, he was warned about it, he did it anyway. He was warned about it because they wanted him to be a PR piece. They don't want him to be a reporter. Now, that's one of the things that I was upset with, that I was just, kind of shitting on Ariel about for actually a couple of years, that he seemed like a promo piece. And then, he got criticized a lot for it. He started covering Bellator, and then that got him some shit. And, so yesterday he does this nearly 2 hour long, like stream, the MMA Hour, no guests whatsoever. And he literally goes back a few years and tells every story, basically. And it's, I mean, it was fucking sad. It was sad to see a grown man crying like a bitch about it. You know what I mean? He said his argument doesn't hold water. He said it didn't matter who broke it. Then why do it? Because that's his job. It does matter. That's the thing. That's the one thing I didn't like about. Well, one of the few things I didn't like about that stream yesterday is that he said it didn't matter who broke it, when it clearly did to him. Like, he didn't care. Yes, he did, because then he wouldn't have broken it. Just like you said, he wouldn't have done it. He wouldn't have broken the story if he didn't care who broke it. Of course you care. You're a reporter. It's still competitive. You know what I mean? It's still a competitive thing. You still want to break news. You want to be the first one here and the first one to break this news and all this other stuff. So, no, it's bullshit. Of course he wanted to be the first one. And I don't blame him for it either. You're a reporter, especially when it comes to, your bosses and all that stuff, you want to be first. You want to be the person that everyone hears, oh, it was Ariel broke that news and so broke that news. They were the first ones, huh? And so all this other shit. So, yeah. So it's yeah. So he breaks his news, whatever. So he goes into the thing that's 2 hours long yesterday, crying. It's not the first time either. Oh no, it is not the first time. He's pissed off the UFC so many times. And here's the thing, he contradicts himself like a motherfucker. The biggest problem I had yesterday with that shit was that he kept saying, oh, I don't want to be the story. No journalist ever wants to be the story. And then he goes on for 2 hours about me the whole time. You don't want to be a story, don't make yourself a story. It's pretty fucking simple, okay? It's pretty simple. You don't want to be a story, you don't go on the stream for 2 hours and yap and cry about everything. Now a lot of people disagree with that, and that's fine. It's you know, you're allowed to, of course, but my point of it is this. If you don't want to be a story, you don't make yourself a story, you don't fucking talk about it. You know what I mean? You let, you know, other reporters talk about it, you give interviews. But to go on and just go off and cry, and they wronged me, they're not going to get rid of me. You got super emotional about it. You know, and here's the thing. Journalism 101, the one thing one of my favorite professor in college taught me was if you're going to be a journalist, you have to have super thick skin. Like, people will threaten to beat the shit out of you if you know, at certain spots. And he's right. I mean, it never happened to me, but I remember I was executive producer for a news show for a little bit, and one of my reporters was there, and he actually got threatened to get the shit kicked out of him for breaking a story about fucking some liquor store in town that was knowingly selling kids underage kids, you know, alcohol. And they ended up getting busted literally like a day or two later, but they said, oh no, get out of here, we'll fuck you up, and they actually tried to kick his ass. Even after he identified himself as a reporter, right? So you have to have thick skin. So if you're not gonna have thick skin, especially around people like Dana White, okay, in the internet and Twitter, come on now. So, you know, all this shit. Look, you can look at my timeline. People were like, "Oh, now you're gonna flip on Ariel?" No, never flipped on him. I've been consistent as fuck on him. All right, it's my issue was with the attack on where I considered an attack on media reporting news and journalism, for the most part. And it was, you know, you look at my tweets, and I tweet about this is unfair, this isn't right, it's wrong that they banned him, and it was wrong that they banned him. But then, you know, if you see my tweets yesterday about during the show, I was like, oh great, he's crying. Oh, here we go, here come the tears again. Like, who gives a fuck? That sure reminded me of Jamie Kennedy's movie on hecklers. Oh yeah, the hecklers movie. I saw that shit. I think it was on Netflix. Last time I saw it. I don't know if it's still on there. But yeah, dude, it was weird. It's a 33-year-old man crying. They're not gonna get rid of me. They'll never get rid of me. Come on, dude. Chill the fuck out. Okay. We don't know about Dana White's, you know, well, that'll never happen. Said about women's MMA. Said about, oh, so-and-so's, you know, they're never going to be here. They're done. They're never coming back. And then we see that fighter like a month or two later. It was never going to last, okay? Especially now with the pressure that the UFC was getting from other reporters. Then Ariel gets on there and gets on his little stream and cries his ass off for 2 hours. And then even more pressure comes on the UFC. And yeah, they have to fucking reverse it. I mean, like I always tell you, everybody, and look, all of you are smart enough to know this. You want change, vote with your wallet, okay? And on social media, you want change, flood, for example, with the UFC, flood every post on every UFC account with your free Helwani shit, okay? Because I got curious about it. I started watching the UFC accounts, every single one. And they posted about Michael Bisping, and in the comments, free Helwani, just a million. Same thing on Instagram, a million of those. So, you want your voice heard? Let it be fucking heard. Don't just assume that someone's gonna do the right thing, and don't just assume that because you signed a little shitty petition. That petitions are bullshit. All right, everyone's like, oh, this petition has 10,000 signatures to unban Ariel Helwani. Dana White probably looked at it and fucking shat on it. Okay, that's stupid. Stop with the goddamn petitions. All right, you go right at the source. You go right at the. So the UFC does something you don't like. Do you see ex-dad's post to Dana? No, I did not. But link me later on Twitter if it's a long one. So it's you know, if you want to make you want to change something, you go at the source. You flood their social media accounts. You flood their their Facebook, their Twitter, anything they got. If they got a Pinterest, flood that shit. You know, you send emails, phone calls, all that. That's what you do. You go at the source. You let them know, hey, you pissed us the fuck off with this bullshit, and you change it. That's how it works. Okay. On this one, the media went hard at the UFC. The fans especially went super hard at the UFC because Ariel's a pussy and pussies need to be protected. But he is a pussy. Let's be honest. But you know, he was wrong. So they did wrong him. They was wrong for them to ban him, and so people had his back, and that's great. Okay. All that being said, a grown man cried in the street for 2 fucking hours and was unbanned. That's fucking incredible. He needs to have like a world record for that. Like, longest bitching and crying on the stream, and you know, getting unbanned or something like that. I don't know. Someone call Guinness, see if they got something for that. But look, all in all, everything's all good. You know, Hawani's cheesy fucking face was on SportsCenter last night going, yeah, they unbanned me because I cried my ass off and sucked a dick on live stream. Like, dude, again, humble yourself, chill the fuck out, okay? But the media are the ones giving Ariel a lot of negative shit for this, because he deserved it. Look, he deserves Ariel Hawani for as decent as he is at reporting, because his reporting is not that, you know, and I'm saying this from the perspective of someone that's done the job. It's not that great, okay? He's legitimately only a guy that breaks scoops and gets big interviews because of his connections through the UFC and all that. Okay, that's literally all he does. All right, he doesn't do investigative reporting. Neither does really almost anybody on that website, by the way. You know what I mean? Once in a while, you get someone that puts out something good or explains something out pretty good. You know, that's about it. Most of them are just like, oh, I saw it on TV. I'm gonna say, so-and-so did this shit. That's all, you know? So, but the media does go out to Ariel, and he deserves it. Best reporter in the business. He does get a lot of those fucking awards, though, I'll tell you that much. And hey, that just tells you about the quality right now. But Ariel Hawani is just the guy that was there first. That's literally it. And you have to give him credit for that, okay? Because I guarantee it took balls. Just like he said yesterday, I put all my eggs in one basket. I bet it takes balls to put all your eggs in one basket and hope like hell it fucking works out. And if it doesn't, you gotta scramble. You know what I mean? Especially because he has a family. So I give him props for that. I really do. So, all in all, he's still not a journalist? No, he's not. I don't think so. Okay, here's the thing. This is what we need to start. I don't know. The way I see it, I'm being kind of a cranky old guy. And I'm not that old. I'm only 30, but I'm being like a cranky old guy about this, is that journalism is changing and it's evolving to something that isn't journalism that we know. It isn't the investigator. Look, as a journalist, they should really change the term journalist to investigator. That's what you do, right? You find out news, you get a scoop, and then you investigate it, and you get details, and you get sources, and it's a long, annoying fucking process. And because of social media and the 24-hour news cycle, it's become, okay, just put out whatever you got right away, boom. And that's why you get misinformation all the time. So it's journalism itself is changing or has changed, and I'm just not adapting to it or something. But I agree. In my opinion, he's not a journalist. A lot of people think he's like the best MMA journalist around. Hey, great, that's good. Okay, but I don't agree. But hey, do you? You know, I'm not stopping you. I'm not even going. I don't even tweet at Ariel anymore. Like. Well, mostly, I think the last time I did, he blocked me. It was pretty funny. And I hadn't tweeted him in forever before that. But it was when when Under Armour accidentally put out that GSP advertisement campaign with just like one picture. It's like, GSP makes his return to the cage, and he'll tell you why here in the Under Armour, link. And Ariel Hawani was like, I've been told, and he tweeted like 30 times. He was like, he almost seemed upset about it, like he was out scooped. And I tweeted at Ariel, I'm like, dude, shut up with your salty ass. Just mad that Under Armour beat you to the punch. You were able to, break that news, you pussy. And he blocked me. I'm like, all right, whatever. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me at all. But it was pretty funny. I found it. You already knew that Ariel Hawani had thin skin, but man, what a bitch. Off a tweet, he gets all buttered. Anyway, but he's got his sources, he's got his connections, and good for him. Again, I don't hate on him as far as what he does for work. I really just don't like him. You know what I mean? He's broken stories and not giving the actual person that broke the news credit. He'll just pretend like he did it. He's done it multiple times. You know what I mean? Like quite a few times, in fact. So there's a lot of things with him, and I'm not going to go into the rest of them because I don't have time and I got to go right now. But it's, look, he's unbanned, shortest lifetime ban ever. Dana White said that as long as I'm in this company, he's gonna be banned. So everyone's all joking around about either he died or you got fired or quit. He didn't. He's not. But I'll tell you what, Dana White Ariel Helwani's gonna be a super short leash now for sure. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta run. You guys have a wonderful day, wonderful afternoon, wonderful night, depending on where you are on the planet. I'm about to give you guys some show announcements. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for watching, man. See you later. But I'm about to give you guys some show announcements for the week. Hopefully sometime soon today, if not tomorrow. All right. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys around. See ya.